What's going on, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 111 of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. My name, of course, is Blaze, and today I'll be talking about the card that's on your screen. For the record, I searched for a long time to find an English version of this card. I could not find it. I must have searched for like 2.5 minutes. I could not find it. But this card is Rayquaza from the new Guardians Rising expansion. We'll be talking about that card. We'll also be taking on a couple of Versus Mode matches and opening up another pack of Pokemon booster packs. So stay tuned for that as well. So the card on your screen, of course, is a colorless Rayquaza card, and it has 120 HP. It also has a weakness to electricity and a resistance to fighting types, and it also has a retreat cost of 1. I did not expect the resistance or the weakness to electricity, but I mean, it is technically a flying type, so it kind of makes sense, right? As far as comparing the game to the card game. It also has 2 attacks. Now, they are in Japanese. I know you can't read them. I can't read them either. I do have the translations right here, though. And here we go. So, it's 2 attacks. The first attack that it has is called Turbo Storm. Does 30 damage. And you can use this attack with 1 double colorless energy. Not too bad. Attach 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. Not too bad at all. I actually kind of like that attack just because there's so many ways to get energy into your discard pile should you need it. In a situation like this where you want to attach it to your Pokemon much more quickly, getting Rayquaza out on the first turn would be essential, especially if you have a Professor Sycamore where you can discard your hand that might include 2 energy cards, put them in the discard pile, use this attack, deal 30 damage, and get those energy cards attached to your basic Pokemon on the bench. Or even your evolution Pokemon. You can use Ultra Balls to discard 2 of the energies in your hand, and then go ahead and use this attack. So there's quite a few ways to get energy into your discard pile, and once it's there, you can use this attack to go ahead and attach it. It's not quite as good as having an ability that does the same thing, but it's not bad. I think the main focus of this card, if you're going to use it, is to try to get energy into your discard pile, use this attack, and build up your bench. The great thing about this card and this attack is that even though it's not an ability, it'd be better as an ability, but even though it's not, if your opponent manages to knock out your Rayquaza, they're only going to get 1 prize card. So you're only going to give up 1 prize card, and you can still attach a Fighting Fury belt to it as well. It's really more of a support card in that regard, in that it can get energy attached rather quickly. But even its other attack, Dragon Claw, is only going to deal 80 damage, so you're not going to be knocking out Pokemon left and right. And of course, it doesn't even have, it's a colorless Pokemon, so it doesn't even have, it's never going to be in a situation where your opponent is weak to it. So, I like this card. It's one of the more interesting cards that I kind of overlooked while going through cards for the new expansion. Being a legendary is awesome. Most legendaries end up being EX or GX Pokemon, and this one's actually not one of those. And I like the attack. I mean, 80 damage is pretty solid, especially getting started in the beginning of the game. 1 double colorless energy and then also another energy card will help you deal 80 damage. And if your opponent is still trying to set up, maybe it's got a stage 1 Pokemon out, trying to get that stage 2, you might be able to KO that stage 1 in some cases, especially with the Fighting Fury belt. I think the Choice Band item, once that comes out, that will help deal extra damage, 30 extra damage to any EX or GX Pokemon. So you're looking at 110 damage there. So depending on how you want to use this card, it can be very good as a support, and it can be very good as a I'd say mediocre damage dealer, not a bad damage dealer. The minimum 80 damage is not bad. It's never going to hit for weakness, but it is going to at least put a strain on your opponent's situation, especially if you're not able to get basic energy cards into your discard pile. You can still deal some damage, and you can still hurt your opponent. So, as always, folks, let me know what you think about this card in the comments below. If I missed something, if just going over this card kind of sparked an idea or made you think of something else, put that in the comments below too. I think I'm kind of knowledgeable on the Pokemon trading card game, but I don't know everything. So if I miss something, definitely put it in the comments. And I look forward to getting Rayquaza as a card in the Guardians Rising expansion coming out May 5th. That's just like a week away. That's a week from Friday. So that'll be pretty awesome. Also, someone pointed out that the American cards are out, but again, I wasn't able to find them. I did search for a little bit more than 2.5 minutes, but I wasn't able to find the American scans of these cards. So if you guys know where they are, hit me up in the comments and let me know. I'd love to be able to show them off in the American version rather than the Japanese. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into a versus match. I have been using the deck of the month, which of course is the deck called Struck. Not the greatest deck I've ever created, but it's definitely not the worst. This deck has evolved over the course of the last month from a dragon deck that used Vikavolt up to a electric deck that uses Vikavolt. Vikavolt is a great Pokemon. If you've never used it before, you don't know what it is. It's great. It is just a great Pokemon. If you can get it out, I think the biggest thing about this deck is you have to be able to get it out as quickly as possible. If you're having trouble getting it out, it can be tough. It can be a tough situation that you are put in if you can't get it out. But luckily, I started this match with Talonflame at the top, so that's going to be essential in helping me get Vikavolt out quickly. Search for a trainer card, put it into your hand. Water Splash for 80 damage plus 20 more if you flip heads. I'm guessing my opponent is going to get in. I'm guessing that's probably going to happen. I don't want that to be put on here, but I don't really have a choice, do I? Because I need to be able to do this attack. I'm going to get Grubbin, and I'm going to get in. And I'll tell you why. Because in will help me recycle my hand if my opponent doesn't decide to use it already. And even if my opponent does decide to use it already, it wouldn't matter anyway what I pick. So that's going to be unfortunate. It's kind of expected at that point, but I had to make it happen. So he went with Lily, which is a fine choice of trainer cards. In is going to fully negate my next choice. So I have an in of my own that I can use, which is great because I don't think he knows that. And he wasn't able to reset my hand right now. So I'll be able to reset his hand, which is great because, again, I'm really not sure if he knows that. So getting new cards is definitely going to yield an energy card, which is wonderful. I'm also going to try to use Wally next turn. Let's get rid of one of these energy cards if I can. Nope, of course not. I only have one energy card in the discard pile, so I'm not going to go ahead and try to get that back into the deck. I'm going to attack, get Grubbin's Evolution, and maybe the Spirit Link. That might be good. Pidgeot, Spirit Link. So I grabbed Charjabug because I want to be able to go right to Vikavolt on the next turn, which is very, very likely. Go ahead and get Grubbin and then use Wally on the next turn, and there it is. You'll have Vikavolt out. And then it's all about attaching energy cards, so I'm not sure what my opponent has planned right now. Lima, I think that makes me shuffle my hand, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So that's unfortunate, but it's all good. Okay, cool. That's perfect. That's exactly the hand I was hoping to get. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and attach right here. Evolution, Evo Soda for Grubbin's Evolution. and Wally for Vikavolt. So I'll have everything I need. It's pretty epic when you can get Vikavolt out quickly because now I can pretty much do whatever I want. So the grass energy I'm going to put on Pidgeot, and the electric energy I'm going to put on Raikou. He has all basic Pokemon down here, so I'm going to go ahead and get Jolteon out. Because he'll probably be needed a little bit later on. So, we'll go ahead and Arrow Blitz. It's not going to KO him, but I'm going to be able to grab any cards that I need right now. And right now, I probably need that to get some energy cards back into my hand. Maybe not yet. I'm going to grab the Spirit Link. I'm also going to grab the Mega Pidgeot. May as well go ahead and get that started. I still only have the one energy card in my discard pile. That's why I didn't grab the uh-oh. That's why I didn't grab the one Pokemon. But I can still use Vikavolt to get all the energy cards that I need. So while that did suck, it's not that bad. So Spirit Link, Mega Pidgeot, Ability, Grass Energy right here, Electric Energy. I want to try to get him powered up. Also going to use this to try and discard energy over here. It worked. Goodbye. And 130 damage should wrap up the Lapras's time in the sun. Go ahead and grab a prize card, and it's a Wally, and that's good. I don't have any energy cards in my hand, so that's all good. So at this time, my opponent should probably be focused on attaching energy to the other Lapras, because right now, I'm going to KO this one, basically. I should make him switch, though. No, I should not. Keep this one out so I can KO it. I'm thinking I have a pretty good chance to win this match because my opponent doesn't seem to have all the cards that are needed to make this deck successful. And that was a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. Tails? Okay, good. That could have been bad. It could have been awful. Okay, alright. Max Elixir would be good, but imagine if he attached energy to Lapras and then used Max Elixir. Or used the Max Elixirs first and then attached the energy to Lapras because he didn't get what he needed. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Just gonna retreat. So there you go. Energy switch. That was a good call. Good call. So not necessarily a mistake. It was probably, I wouldn't say it was planned, but it was probably something that where he knew what he was doing. So retreating is the best option here for Jolteon. And going ahead and doing Flash Ray, that's could be the best. It'll keep him alive because there's no evolution for Lapras, and even with the bench Pokemon, there's no evolution for those either, so that was a good call. I probably should have gone ahead and gone with Pidgeot. That's okay, though. I should keep Jolteon on the bench as a last resort Pokemon. I shouldn't have used him so quickly. As of right now, my opponent can't really do anything to me anyway. Well, that's going to be devastating. It's going to be really bad. Good call. A switch. Bring out the other Lapras, but... Ooh, a paralyzed too. Wow. Okay. So... I don't have a way to get any energy cards onto any of these Pokemon, and he's going to kill him. So... Well played. Good stuff. So this could be a loss. This could end up being a loss. I definitely should have KO'd that Lapras. That was, without question, the biggest mistake that I made this game. That Lapras should have been KO'd a long time ago. Should have got my 2 prize cards, and then this one wouldn't have been so much of a threat. Blizzard Run. KO on the good old Jolteon. So I'm going to go ahead and put up this Raikou. The only thing that I really need to happen is... What's the retreat cost up here? 3? 2? Let's go ahead and grab one of these. Make it come out. I don't have any energy cards in the deck, so there's nothing I can do with Strong Charge right now. Well played. Sometimes that is good. Sometimes it means I did a good job. Sometimes it means that they already have a plan and their plan worked perfectly. Drawing 3 cards here. I really did kind of mess up here. I don't have a choice but to just kind of go to the next turn and hope that my opponent doesn't have anything to switch out with. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a... I don't know if I would use that right now. What does that do? Mirror Barrier. Prevent all damage done by attacks. I'm just going to retreat right now. I don't know why you use that. Let's go and buy myself some time here. Discard that energy card. Say we're done for now. Yeah, he's also healing up all of his Pokemon, which is very, very bad for me. In. It's a good choice at this point. I definitely need some better cards. My opponent might also need some better cards, and they might have gotten those better cards just now. Oh, great. So good. Oh, that's wonderful. I almost feel like I need more of those because... Okay. Doesn't mean I'll be able to get one, though. Oh, it does. Never mind. It does mean I'll be able to get one. Because I have Vigavolt. Okay. See what we can get here. maybe a chance at discarding an energy card, or that's probably the best bet, a chance at discarding an energy card. I should get this Nest Ball to get Jolteon out. I mean, no contest, right? That just makes sense. And I think my opponent is in a situation where he's already used a bunch of his better cards to try to get something going. So I think I'm good. Although I had an Ultra Ball, I could have just used that to get Jolteon. So nope. My opponent probably will switch. I was kind of counting on that. I was counting on him switching, discarding the energy cards to do it. But should that happen, I don't think he has any more energy cards. I think what's out there now is all that's there. I'm looking at the there's 2, there's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 energy cards. He might have a couple extras. Yeah, I did make one huge mistake. And that mistake was absolutely not using Pidgeot to KO to finish off another Pokemon. So at this point, ooh, what about Lysander? Yeah, I like that. That'll be good for next turn. If my opponent uses an in, great. If not, that's fine too. He can't attack me with that attack again, so I think we're good. I think it's going to be all right. I don't have any... oh, he's going to discard cards from the top of my deck, which didn't work out at all. Here we go with 1 KO. My opponent might get to use that attack again, which would be unfortunate. But just based on the idea that so far they haven't had enough energy to get anything going, it may not be the case. It may be the same situation here on this turn. There's no energy. Draw 2 cards and... uh-oh. Oh, that's game. I should have known. Darn it. I should have... This time I should have done Jolteon. So that was kind of the opposite of what happened the last turn. I should have read that situation a little bit better and known that, hey, if there's energy, I could get KO'd. So, darn it. It's always those... This deck suffers from I think it's got some decent cards in it, and I really do think that this deck has a good strategy, but I don't play this deck very well. I think there's a couple of situations where I run into that I could have played it better, and I didn't. So, 2 situations right there where I could have absolutely played that better. Of course, if my opponent had a Lysander, I still would have lost, but it's all good. It's all good. You live and you learn. This is the last week for this deck, so I won't be playing this deck. After this Friday's tournament, I won't be playing this deck anymore, so there's that. At least not for a while. Maybe when some new cards come out, I'll try to revisit this deck and edit the deck a little bit, make it a little bit better. But it's interesting. I mean, another Jolteon would be perfect. I mean, probably another Fishing Rod would be perfect too. Because it does get into trouble where the energies end up in the discard pile quite a bit. And if I don't have any way to get them back... In fact, Brock's Grit might be good to add to this too. instead of a Skyla. There we go, that one. Here we go, this one. Well, I'm going to use this now and go ahead and grab the evolution. Can't use it, but at least it's there. My opponent's probably going to use an in this time. Mm-mm. 90's a lot. That's a lot of damage. And I am not a basic. In will come out. I probably should have used Lysander to get something else out. This could come in handy, though. Very well could. There's that. Let me go ahead and get a Pokemon, because I feel like that's going to have to happen. Pidgeot, maybe? Oh, no. This one. Although my opponent could very easily make me reset my hand, so I don't want that to happen, but very easily could. I probably should have grabbed Pidgeot. So no in this round, which is great because I don't want to deal with in right now. There's the 90 damage that I was hoping would not happen, but there it is. Oof. Oof. So this one I can go ahead and evolve again. I still can't get all the energy out for the attack. So I'm running a huge risk of not being able to do anything. This is going to go quick. Just so you know. This is going to be a quick match. I literally can't do anything right now. And my discard pile only has 1 energy and a double colorless, so I really can't... I can't do very much. Yeah. Of course. I should have known that was going to happen. Well, next match, we'll go ahead and move on rather quickly. That's 2 in a row. On a losing streak today. That's not good. Not good. Can't go on forever though, right? I really feel like I should have won that first match. That would have been most ideal. I don't know what I was thinking on. I ruined it. I totally ruined it. But it's all right. It's all right. One of those losses was definitely my fault. The other one was sort of my fault, only because I built this deck, and only because I didn't get the right cards. So there are ways to ensure that you get the right cards, and I did not have those options available to me, which is kind of comes down to deck building and how you build your deck. So we're going to get the first round here. I want to go ahead and get something good out, like another Pokemon on the bench. Using Skyla to grab a Nest Ball, probably a good idea. Here we go. He's got a stadium. He's got a stadium. I kind of zoned out there for a second. Sorry, folks. Still with you. Still watching. Escape rope. Uh-oh. Rut Rose Ruby. So, Tauros GX is kind of hard to deal with if you don't know what to do. His GX attack is devastating. Goodness. Let's get some energy attached here. I need a basic Pokemon on the bench, period. So it's going to have to happen right now with Nest Ball. Ah. I'm going to have to grab something. Let me grab Grub in here. I want something else on the bench too, so I'm probably going to grab another Nest Ball. I think I'm going to go for Jolteon. This Tauros is kind of a wall right now. A stall tactic that may or may not be worth it in the long run. Great. I think I have 2 energy cards in my hand. Great. I think I need another basic on the bench. Oh, I feel like I should probably use in, because I don't have anything going for me right now. This is going to be a tough match. I can already feel that it's going to come down to one mistake, and if I make one mistake, it could be the whole game. My opponent's using all the Eevee evolutions. It looks like trying to get the fire type Flareon to deal some damage. Horn Attack's a good move. I can do Mirror Move. Maybe negate that a little bit. Gosh. Nest Ball come in handy. Get it? Handy? But if I do the 80 damage, he's going to be able to do 30 times the number of damage counters. 30 times 8 is 240. It's not any better than doing 60 times 8, which is 180. He's still KO'd. So I guess I may as well damage the bench also. He's definitely going to use his GX attack right now, though. Definitely. Rage is going to do 20 damage times the number of, or plus 10 for every damage counter on the Pokemon, so 90. But Rage would not be the attack I would do right now. Although it'd probably KO me. 90, no, not quite. This is going to go well. 240. Boom. Deads. Hope you guys like watching me lose, because, man, this is a rough day. Rough day. It's a Tuesday. It's like the week's just getting started. Who knows what to expect at this point? Who knows? This is definitely not the best cards I've ever been dealt, though. I'll be honest with you. This is... My opponents are pretty good today, though, so I can't even complain that it's totally my fault, or it's totally their fault, or anybody's fault. My opponents are very good. They have very good decks built. Here comes that discard of the DCE coming up. Boom! How'd I know? Good question. It's because things seem to be stacked against me during this game. And I just had this feeling that was how it's going to work out. I guess we'll do this and try to get some energy. It's not gonna do that much good though. This Grubbin's totally dead, or this thing's totally dead. Maybe that'll help. I don't think it will, but maybe help buy me some time. I just feel like I'm in a corner right now. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm definitely in a situation where my opponent has everything they need and I don't have everything I need. And here comes the KO, or pretty close to the KO. I think it's the KO though. 80. Oh, yeah. 150. Oh gosh. Ugh. I can't do anything about it. Not with these cards. Why would you do that? I have nothing in my hand, otherwise I would have used it. Don't do that. Do the 150 damage. In fact, this Pokemon's going to do extra damage, won't it? No, it's colorless. Yeah, it's over. It's so over. So over. Oh, I can use in. That's cool. I definitely need something to get me started again. That was nothing. That was literally nothing. I guess I'll go with Pidgeot. It's not going to save the day, though, but neither would Grubbin. Wow. Okay, it's done. Get your KO. Go on ahead, get your KO. Really hoping for another DCE right now, but I don't think that's going to happen. Of course not. Of course not. Just going to evolve. Hope for the best here. Maybe my next turn I'll get an energy card. I can go ahead and attach it. Maybe deal 130 and force my opponent to switch. But he's just going to switch into Tauros and then switch back out. Oh, good call. Good call. I can't do anything about that. 100 damage. Woo. I mean, that might work. Might work. Actually, did not. Well, it wasn't great. Retreat for that one. I still don't have a card that I can do anything with, so I'm going to take 100 damage right now. Probably twice in a row. This will at least give me an energy card that I can work with. That would be nice. But I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. Yeah. There it is. $140. Gosh. Alright, let's just do this and hope for the best. My opponent is definitely going to KO me at this point. It's definitely over. There's literally nothing I could do. Probably going to go ahead and open up some packs of cards on this episode after this KO, after this epic failure. It's not really a failure. It was a learning experience. How about that? I probably need to take a couple of these cards out and utilize some better cards to get energy attached and get everything going. I've discovered on the last edit that the quicker that I can get Grubbin out, the better off I am. And I did not get Grubbin out very quickly on any of these matches. And the one that I did was the only one where I may have had a chance, and I messed it up. So this deck is very much built around getting Grubbin ready and out. And if I don't have him ready and out, then I probably won't win. So anyway, looking at the packs of cards, let's go ahead and open up one of these first because I just want to get rid of them. I don't really like what's inside of these most of the time. It's a Misty's Determination. I mean, it is what it is. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, look at the top 8 cards of your deck. Put one of them into your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. Meh. It's all good. Let's go ahead and open up this Fates Collide. We'll do another one of those tomorrow as well. How about that? Sounds good to me. Folks, let's go ahead and get that opened. I don't think I have a whole lot of cards from Fates Collide. I don't think I've opened that many packs. DCE, that's nice. Let's see what we got here. Oh. Omastar, I kind of want to use that card. We'll go over that in a second. But White Kyurem, 130 HP. Burning Icicles is 40 damage. If this Pokemon has any fire energy attached to it, the attack does 20 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And Blizzard Burn for 130. Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. I like this card, but I don't like the Blizzard Burn. And of course you have to have fire energy in your deck to do anything great with it. Well, not great, but 20 to 2 of your opponent's bench might be good. 140 HP on Omastar Break. Its ability, Dangerous Tentacles. Once during your turn before you attack, you may switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, EX, with his or her active Pokemon. So you can draw out your opponent's benched EX Pokemon. Not too bad. Old Amber. Look at the bottom 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal an Aerodactyl you find there and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle the others back into your deck. Fairy Drop, heal 50 damage from one of your Pokemon that has any fairy energy attached to it. We've got the double colorless energy here. Also Coughing with 60 HP, Division. Search your deck for up to 2 Coughing and put them onto your bench. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Bronzor with 60 HP. Iron Defense, flip a coin. If heads, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon, during your opponent's next turn. And Hammer in for 20 damage. Finnegan with 50 HP. Invite out, flip a coin, and make one of your opponent's benched Pokemon switch with their active Pokemon. Volibee, 60 HP. Leer, paralyzes on a heads flip, and Cutting Wind will do 40 damage. And Snubble with 70 HP. Ruckus will do 50 damage, but nothing on Tails. A Tails flip. So, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Most of them are better than today's episode. That was supposed to be a secret, but I didn't whisper it. But definitely check me out tomorrow, and if I don't see you then, I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip.